Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Raw is Phoenix!
How about no?
Come on, let me do it.
No! No! No!
Yes!
No!
Yes! Yes!
No!
Yes! 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 Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't figured it out yet from this ridiculous exchange, we're going to be going back to our roots a little bit here. And we are officially launching with this episode our new weekly wrestling show, WXR, the Wrestling Xpound Radio. This will be a weekly show. It will be posted midweek each week, and it will cover Friday SmackDown, Sunday pay-per-view if there's a pay-per-view that week, and that Monday's Raw. And we will discuss the goings on in the WWE for the week. We'll cover things that happened on Raw, relevant to what's going on, storylines. We'll also talk about any extracurricular news, as it were, in relation to wrestling.
TNA! TNA!
Yes, well, we can talk about TNA if you want, sure. We're just going to generally cover wrestling and just kind of keep it kind of loosey-goosey, similar to the way our co-show, the XGR, is being run. So, with that, I am, of course, James Phoenix. I'm hosting this week. We will be alternating our hosting duties. Joining me are the other two big names of the Xpound from Showtime, formerly my co-Raw reviewer. It's Marcus Shadow.
I'm back to show you the light.
That's right. And our former go-to SmackDown guy and current one of the co-hosts of the XGR, host of the Gaming Zone, the Comic Zone, all kinds of good stuff like that there. It's Chriz the Mole.
Hello to my fans underground. Can you feel the momentum? I'm Chriz, aka the Mole, but you already knew that.
Ha! Booyah! All right, we are back. For a number of these episodes, we will also be joined by now full Xpound member, formerly Marcus Shadow's sidekick, the ever wonderful sad gamer Ricktor Hammer. He could not be here this evening, but he will be in quite a number of these episodes, depending on his availability.
Yes, that is why Ricktor Hammer, he's the bald one. Marcus Shadow, he's the Asian one. I'm the fat one with the messy hair, and James Phoenix is the other one.
Ha! With the mustache.
Okay, the mustache one, that would work too.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, let's go and start with the news. I've got the list here. We'll cover a few of these items. The big news out of this past week that I think we're all talking about is, of course, the retirement of good old JR, Jim Ross. The voice of WWE for more years than I can remember. The greatest commentator WWE ever had, in my personal opinion. And just a great all-American guy. Given, has longevity in the fact that he has been around such a long time, it is understandable that he might want to retire. It's said that he's retiring because he wants to focus on his barbecue sauce business and his other endeavors that he runs. I think he actually owns a barbecue restaurant in Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken.
Are they future endeavors?
Oh.
I don't. No, they're actually current endeavors. So they wish to invest in his current endeavors. They mixed it up a little bit. So, with that, the other rumor that's floating around, and this has not been substantiated,
Before
but the
you
other
go with
rumor,
that, as the Mole pointed out earlier tonight while we were watching Raw, is JR really retired? Because, yeah, he tweeted about Raw in the middle of Raw.
Yep, in the same way he normally did for his blog and stuff like that. So I was thinking, is he's still going to be mentioning stuff to do with Raw?
well, a lot of people that are retired still mention the show and everything. Are still somewhat involved. It's not to say that, I mean, hell, Ric Flair is retired.
Yep.
That's not to say they won't still be actively involved in the business. I mean, JR loves wrestling. It's his life. So, of course, he's going to still, be tweeting about that and talking about that. I mean, it's what he loves is what he does. He's not going to stop talking and tweeting about WWE any more than he's going to stop talking and tweeting about the Oklahoma Sooners. It's just not going to happen.
Yep, I will say, because we weren't to be discussing the news, I will say it's a shame JR's retiring. I mentioned the other night if they did the Hall of Fame induction video for him and King together or whatever, they could be really dickish because while JR was in the top commentators, he's no Bobby the Brain Heenan or Gorilla Monsoon, but
Fair enough.
basically he's up there. He's definitely good. most of his career, he's famous for being the guy that was set on fire, or had his arm broke by Triple H, or was fired, or was fired, or was fired. Oh, and did I mention he was fired?
I can
Literally,
counteract.
they turned him into a joke.
I can counteract one of those. He holds a pinfall victory over Triple H.
So does Brooklyn Brawler.
Touche.
Wow, I never thought that sentence was.
And
ever
ironically,
come out.
he's still employed by. And ironically, he's still employed by WWE.
Yeah, I never ever thought in the history of any of doing this for sentence, and so is Brooklyn Brawler would ever come up.
See, we're already ahead of the game.
We just had to give a shout out to your hometown boy, James.
Oh.
I'm going to ignore that. Moving along. The unfortunate rumor floating around about JR's retirement is that it was also sort of forced upon him or heavily pushed by Vince McMahon over the events that occurred at the SummerSlam Access event back in August. Specifically, at the event, there was a panel where a couple of current superstars and some legends were discussing great WrestleMania matches and to promote WWE 2K14's 30 Years of WrestleMania mode. And Ric Flair was on this panel along with Mick Foley, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, and Rey Mysterio. And as they were discussing this, Ric Flair was a little intoxicated, I think, and kind of went on some Ric Flair trademark rants about anything that he felt like. And while 2K14 loved it and didn't really give a crap, WWE was not happy with this. And since JR was the moderator who was supposed to be running the panel, it's heavily rumored that he might not be in the best of graces with Vince for failing to keep Ric Flair on a leash. So it's also rumored that that might be why he was pushed toward retirement. Comments?
To be fair, Vince can't keep Ric Flair on a leash
This is true.
because of that plane incident that happened over here a while back.
What happened at the plane?
Basically, on a plane, it was like Ric Flair and a bunch of wrestlers were all, because the plane wasn't taking off, they all got like shit-faced and pissed and shit. So I think, if memory serves, it was either Ric Flair or it was Scott Hall actually got suspended over it because they had a history of alcoholism.
Oh dear.
Whereas everyone else who did it got off.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Fair enough. So there's that. So JR, we wish you the best in your current and future endeavors. We hope to see you around the WWE sometime. Maybe get one of them Sweet Legends contracts.
I'm sure they'll bring him back for WrestleMania.
Yeah, hopefully you get one of those sweet legend contracts, like your buddy, the Rattlesnake, the Rattlesnake.
Hmm.
We had to
Oh,
do it
yeah.
once for JR. It was a choice out of that or that's gotta be Kane. That's gotta
That's
be
good.
Kane.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, one thing's for sure, if there is a match big enough for them to call JR back, it will be a slobber knocker.
Mm-hmm. Or it'll be WrestleMania.
Well, that too. Speaking of WrestleMania, thank you for the segue.
Mm.
The other thing is to mention briefly here is that we did have the announcement of the first set of matches for the 30 Years of WrestleMania mode from 2K14. Did anybody want to comment on any of them specifically? I don't think we need to read the list, but
It was kind of cool. They did the Hulk Hogan era.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I was a little annoyed when they showed Bret Hart v Yokozuna and they didn't announce another match afterwards because I know how that match ends.
How does that match end?
That match ends with Hulk Hogan winning the title in a matchup he was never even scheduled to appear in. Because, as Bret Hart himself has said backstage and stuff, Hulk Hogan, he blames Hulk Hogan. He said Hulk Hogan basically screwed him out of his own title by going to Vince and saying, yeah, that guy can't carry the show. And then suddenly Hulk Hogan comes out, Mr. Fuji, either through the salt or it was a camera, it was one of the two, explodes as right as Hulk Hogan ducks, it goes in Yokozuna's face, he falls over, leg drop, 1, 2, 3. Hulk Hogan is the champion at WrestleMania. On a show he was never even fucking booked in.
I will point out, I'm not sure, on the list I'm looking at, they've actually got for WrestleMania 9, Yokozuna vs. Bret Hart, and then Yokozuna vs. Hulk Hogan.
See, on the official site when they have it, they have Bret Hart v Yokozuna, and they didn't mention the Hulk Hogan one when I was looking on the official site before, and I was reading them to Marcus.
Okay, I'm looking at this on Raja.com. That's where I get most of my wrestling news, and it has it on there. So, some good matches on there. Interesting that most of them involve Hulk Hogan. Go figure.
Again, like it says on the official site, it's the Hulk Hogan era. Like the next one is probably going to be like the Austin era or something.
True. Okay, that means we're gonna get the Cena era, aren't we?
Yeah.
Probably.
Damn. Oh well. So yeah, those are some good matches. We'll wait till we get some more out there. We'll talk about if they announce some more this week. We'll talk about them next week on the WXR. Stay tuned. Um, Other news. Just a couple of things I want to mention offhand here. We don't need to discuss these. Just because I found this hilarious. There's a photo floating around on the internet showing that apparently TNA is so bad that not even the people that work there want to watch it, because the TNA commentators were shown having two TV monitors on their announce table, one of which was showing the match and the other of which was showing the NFL game. So,
nice.
Good job, guys. Also, the other thing to mention is, speaking of Hulk Hogan, he was in an unfortunate boating accident this past weekend when apparently some combination of the water and the wind caused the boat's windshield to explode in his face. And the face of his friend that was boating. They got cut up and there was blood everywhere, but they're apparently okay.
Nice.
So,
And so you go.
Hulk Hogan will still come back and wrestle more matches, I'm sure, but yeah, go ahead.
I was actually going to point out that Marcus read that to me earlier, told me about that bit of news. When he said it came just after, was it Jimmy Hart? You take it away, Marcus.
Yeah, I believe James Phoenix told me it was Jimmy Hart made like a statement about Hulk Hogan's future and stuff. Like, I guess Hogan just finished going through his like surgery and rehab for his hip and stuff, and it came out all right. It was like, yeah, the Hulkster could probably wrestle another 2 or 3 matches in his career, and then Hulk Hogan involved in boating accident.
Yeah, there's about 2 articles in between them. It was pretty funny to see that.
Yep.
Could be interesting if you want to comment on if you think this could turn out well. There was a news interview with Shawn Michaels on the radio, him and his partner on his hunting show, and the radio host in question mentioned offhandedly that HBK was going to have some quote good stuff coming up on Raws in the next few weeks, which Shawn Michaels immediately tried to nix the comment and say that he must have been reading the Twitters and whatnot. So, do you think HBK should show up, get involved in this Triple H and Ryan storyline? Think it's good, man? What do you think?
It'll probably be Shawn Michaels shows up on TV, tries to see sense with Triple H, and then gets his ass kicked by Triple H.
Yeah, I think Shawn Michaels will show up, especially since at the top of Raw tonight, Triple H did mention him when talking to Daniel Bryan, saying, "I thought Shawn taught you better."
Yep,
that makes sense. Yeah, Shawn Michaels, for those that don't know, Shawn Michaels was one of the primary influences that trained Daniel Bryan in how to be a wrestler in his early days. So
now, if Shawn Michaels comes back, then Kevin Nash needs to come back with him.
But how's he going to know to show up if he doesn't text himself?
Yep.
Oh.
Speaking of weird texts and stuff, one little bit of news I wanted to mention, which I pointed out during the pay-per-view last night. The intellectual savior of the masses does not know how to spell.
Yes.
His tweet, and I quote, "I wonder how much longer I will be the uncrowned champion. Months, weeks, hours, min. Hashtag WWE NOC." Interesting thing is, he spelled month with 2 N's. He spelled it MONNTHS.
And then was promptly ripped a new one on Twitter about it.
Yeah, even I made a comment about it on Twitter.
Yeah. And even more hilarious, I noticed some of the articles mentioned some of the articles, wrestling sites put up articles from that evening, because he had tweeted it earlier in the evenings. People wondered, is he going to cash in the briefcase tonight on Daniel Bryan or Randy Orton? Or no, wrong match, Del Rio or RVD. And interestingly, when it was the articles talked about this, they apparently just copy pasted the tweet without reading it because it had the spelling error. So fun.
To be fair, they may have just copied and pasted it as well without fixing the spelling error, because a load of them tend to have like the photo of the tweet so it can show it's genuine.
True. The final thing I wanted to mention, this is rather interesting, and I wanted to see if you guys think this might be affecting the WWE product currently, among many other issues. It was reported that the whole thing with Cody Rhodes getting fired a couple weeks ago kind of came out of nowhere, and the reason for that was because of the communication breakdown that's been happening backstage in WWE lately. Um, the issue is that Rhodes requested the time off for his wedding and honeymoon, and the WWE officials in the offices failed to tell the creative team this. And so the creative team didn't know they needed to write Cody off until the last minute, so they had to throw this match together. Apparently, the same thing happened with Mark Henry, as his hamstring injury was not as serious as initially thought. He's been cleared to return to action, but according to a source, the creative team was not informed this, and so they were not apparently they actually were not aware that Henry was cleared to return to action until they read it online.
I could see that causing problems. I will say the Cody Rhodes one isn't as bad as coming out of nowhere, because on the night it seemed to possibly come out of nowhere, but this is the McMahon Helmsley era too. They did this shit all the fucking time in the past where they'd fire people on the night. And then we've had the build up with Goldust, his dad, and stuff. So it seems like they planned it, and at the same time, it seems like it was intentional within the context of how he was fired. But
Right.
yes, if it'd been any other week before they started the McMahon Helmsley era part 2, it would have been basically a case of it would have seemed way out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But
Apparently,
not during. Yeah.
oh, go ahead.
No, nothing. I was just finishing off by saying, not during the McMahon Helmsley era
Helmsley
2.
Right.
Electric Boogaloo.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, apparently the communication backstage is said to be in really rough shape at the moment, resulting in these kinds of situations, because the creative team, who I guess is on the road with the shows or something, is not being told by the WWE offices and officials, the doctors, the rest of all this good stuff, what's going on with the superstars, so they're not able to properly book this stuff because they're not getting the info.
Isn't there one thing that's slightly hilarious with her?
What's that?
Isn't Stephanie or Triple H one of those two? Aren't they the head of creative?
Something like that. But yeah, so I can see this causing a lot of problems in the WWE, given that the creative team can't book what they don't know about. So it seems like this could be a real big issue going on here, and there could be some really weird booking as a result of it if they don't clear this up somehow. It all takes is a damn phone call or an email. You'd think they could sort this shit out. But yes, to answer your earlier question, Mo, currently Stephanie is listed as the executive vice president of creative and something.
That's her exact title, creative and something.
Shut up.
Wow, they were desperate to give her a title.
Yeah. You're such a wise ass. Nah.
We all know you're looking it up. Who
Yes,
cares?
I am.
Let's move on.
All right, we'll move it along. But yeah, that's because I guess Triple H is just the executive vice president of talent or some shit like that. But anyway, so moving along, that's all the news that I had. Did you guys have any other news you wanted to bring up?
Nope.
No, but brought up all my news.
So this week we're going to be covering in our favorite things of the week. Those things will include SmackDown from Friday, September 13th, Night of Champions.
No, it won't.
Why not?
Nobody saw it. Moving on.
Okay then. Then it will include the Night of Champions from Sunday the 15th and Raw from Monday the 16th.
Yeah, it's anything to do with the week before this is posted.
Yeah. So, what do we got?
Triple H and Stephanie are big douches.
We'll say I do kind of like the Daniel Bryan Triple H storyline at the moment. I do kind of like that.
It is going very well.
Only because I did like it at the top of the show on Raw this week when it was after the fast count last week, which, like I said, he's probably going to be stripped of the title on Raw. And ironically, like Marcus said, I called it when I said it'll be during a 20-minute promo to kick off the show with Triple H. Booyah. But, but yeah, basically he comes out and the referee's like, but I don't know why. Why did you do it? Says Triple H. Why did you do it? And then eventually the ref turns around, looks at Daniel Bryan and goes, they're on to us, Daniel. And Triple H's like, what? And then Triple H just tells him to get out and strips Daniel Bryan of the title. And Daniel Bryan's like, well, I didn't do anything. But the ref clearly said, they're on to us, Daniel, which that was kind of funny.
Yep.
This is where we need to bring back GTV and find out backstage that Triple H paid Armstrong off to do this.
This is where we need Daniel Bryan to go, it wasn't my fault. And it turns out he's just a slimmed down Snitsky.
But it's painfully obvious he paid off Armstrong, I think, because Later on, when he calls Armstrong into his office, Triple H is like, Armstrong, I'm gonna have to let you go, because everything going on, I'm gonna have to let you go. And Raw's like, but Hunter, he's like, look, don't worry about it. I'm offering you a very, very good severance package. Like, don't worry, I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you, Scott. I'm like, wait a minute, he's paying off Armstrong?
He is.
Yeah, I have to fire you, but you're gonna get paid. So keep your trap shut, Armstrong.
Yeah.
So yes, he paid off Armstrong. It was all but said tonight that that's what happened.
Fair enough.
Yep. And despite not enjoying the ending of the Divas match, I will also point out double sharpshooter for the win.
Yes.
That was an excellent move at Night of Champions. Yes, that was great.
That needs to be put in the next game, into 2K15.
It does. On the flip side for me, negative-wise, did not like the Paul Heyman CM Punk feud. For me, that was boring a while back. It's now really dragging on, and oh look, now Ryback's joined them, and it's obvious that Ryback's just going to be this poor man's Brock Lesnar join this feud because Brock doesn't have any appearances.
Pretty much, yeah. They got to save Brock so he can fight the Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah, which you got that, which didn't really like that. Didn't like the fact on Raw this week Natalia's on commentary and AJ's messed with her headset, so we didn't get to hear Natalia speak. It's like, oh come on, out of all the divas in there, she's one of the ones I would actually want to hear talk.
Yep.
But no, they've revolved everything around the female John Cena.
Yep. This is true. Although
Yep.
I do have to point out something you pointed out, Mole.
Mhm.
Why did Dusty Rhodes just kind of stand there? Why didn't he do anything?
Mhm.
That
See,
kind of
I
made no
said that-
sense.
I said that
Because
to you,
he's a
and
common man.
Yeah, I said that to you, and your response was because if he runs, they'll get him.
Well, no, but I mean, that's fine. He doesn't run, but he stood there. He's a goddamn wrestler. He should have tried to fight. No, he's going to stand there and let Big Show punch him. Seriously?
Yep, he should have done something. I expected him to at least try and run away, or at least do something.
A fight back.
Pretty much.
But no, then we got Sad Big Show, which I will point out, Sad Big Show may be one of the most awesome things ever
The
because
sad gamer.
it makes you sad. It just makes you, oh.
Turns you into
It-
Simon.
It'd be like seeing a puppy have a birthday party and none of its friends show up. Oh.
It
You
turns
need
you
to
into our
make-
big gay audience.
It does.
Hi, Simon.
Hi, Simon. Yeah, you need to turn that. You need to turn Sad Big Show into a meme now, Mo.
It is. It's called Ricktor Hammer.
Ha!
That's why he's not
Nice.
here right now. He's just racked
Oh.
with guilt about punching an old man in the face.
Exactly.
No, but some things are coming out pretty good. There's definitely going to be hell to pay next week. I'll tell you that. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see where they're going with this.
Yeah, I will also point out. I know he hasn't done much, but how far can the Miz possibly fall?
30 feet. Haven't you seen the videos? He fell 30 feet. But he wasn't trained how to fall.
No, sorry. You go from being WWE champion at WrestleMania to mid-card feud to hosting a talk show once in a while to getting assaulted and buried by Triple H.
It could be worse. He could be Santino and have actually held the Divas Championship.
Yep.
What are you talking about? That was his sister Santina.
Yep, sadly they are really misusing Miz. But
Yep.
I don't think it was really burying Miz tonight. I think they may have used Miz just because WWE seems to like Miz. He seems to be one of the faces that actually has credibility that was left on the show that wasn't Daniel Bryan or CM Punk, to the point where they could destroy him and make the crowd care, even more so because it was his hometown.
And his parents were in the audience.
His parents
Fair
were
enough,
right
then,
there.
that
Which
works.
I would like to also point out that Mole said something interesting to me immediately after that match. And that was that Miz's mother sells better than most of the superstars on the roster.
Yep.
Yeah.
because she put her hands up and she starts to cry like, oh my god, her son's actually injured, and you get the idea of this is actually a mother watching her son be destroyed. It's not like where we've had parents before now and they've been slightly laughing or going, oh. No, this one actually was like, fuck me, my son's dead,
Hmm.
which I kind of like.
Hmm. Cough, John Cena Senior. Cough.
Hmm. Now we know where John Cena gets his lack of skills.
Hmm. Cough, Tori Wilson's dad. Cough.
Ah,
Yep.
yeah.
Or when he injured his arm, cough.
Yeah.
The father of Stephanie McMahon's children, cough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
My arm is broken. I must talk like this and exaggerate everything with both arms.
Although I think Ricardo Rodriguez graduated from that school of selling. Or did you
Yep.
not notice that when he took the chair from Alberto last night, he took it with his left arm, the injured one?
Yeah.
Yep. When it comes to acting and wrestling, most of the acting is probably about as thin as Marcus Shadow's receding hairline.
Fuck you, I don't have a receding hairline. That's Richter.
No, Richter has no hair.
Okay,
It's
fair
impossible
enough.
to have a hairline if hair is non-existent.
He's like The Rock. He decided to shave it off instead of show the hairline.
Yeah. And I was just kidding. Like, no, you don't have a receding hairline.
Thank you.
Andy. I would also like to give some credit. I thought the Dean Ambrose Dolph Ziggler match at Night of Champions was a pretty decent match. Given we haven't seen all that much of Ambrose in one-on-one competition, and we know that while Ziggler can sell, the rest of his wrestling skill set is not the best in the world. So I think they put on a pretty good show for a pay-per-view of caliber of Night of Champions.
Their match tonight was pretty good too.
Well, do they have a match tonight too?
Yeah, non-title, which I have to call bullshit on because okay, Ziggler wins, which is fine. He wins off the zigzag, which is fine. Not once last night did he even go for the zigzag. I'm like, what the hell? It's like Ziggler's not even trying at the pay-per-view. Like,
If you notice at the end,
remember that tilt-a-whirl Hurricane Rana spin where I said he should have gone for the zigzag there and he didn't? I'm like, that's the perfect opportunity to just spin it around into a zigzag. What does he do? Anything else but that and loses the match. I'm like, come on.
Yep. Although he did do his sleeper hold, which is also one of his finishes.
yeah. And I will point out that tonight in this thing where a bunch of guys were in the ring attacking the Shield and Randy Orton at the end of the night, and they all were doing finishers. I noticed he didn't even bother going for it then either. He decided to use the Faymaster instead.
The move that lost him the U.S. title, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sad Billy Gunn is sad.
Yep.
Yes. I think that about covers wrestling for the week.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. Anybody want to comment on the RVD Alberto Del Rio feud?
Not really. It's a
Not
feud.
really.
To quote Mole's other co-host from XGR, it existed.
Yeah, I was gonna say not really. Alberto deserves decent competition.
Ouch.
He deserves Vladimir Kozlov?
Yeah. Now that'd be better competition. But still, he deserves better than the ex-stoner who stiffs people in the ring with basically a high-flying Ryback. It's like, no, let's give Alberto someone decent. Like, hey, here's an idea. Why didn't you feud him with Dolph again? Because that feud didn't seem to end properly.
Not really. That's true. That'd be good. Yeah. Speaking of that, I wouldn't be. You are right because just watching that little end cavalcade in the ring there. Can't remember which of them he kicked, but Rob Van Dam kicked one of the Shield members in the face, and that looked like it hurt.
Yep. Just to end this off, does anyone want to say thoughts and opinions on where this storyline could go? And then we can keep track of it every week to see if we're right and stuff when we talk about the future. Ooh.
Okay. Well,
you're talking about the main storyline, right?
Yeah, the main one.
Well, obviously, Shawn Michaels is going to get involved at some point, probably next week or the week after, one of the next 2 weeks.
I think I heard that in the news somewhere.
what
I don't know. I'd like to see. Well, like we've said before, I'd like to see Cody Rhodes and Goldust or at least Cody Rhodes come back and kind of form an alliance with Daniel Bryan against the McMahon Helmsley era. But now that the entire face contingent of the locker room has basically told Triple H to fuck off, came out and helped Daniel Bryan, they could almost go anywhere with it. They could team Daniel Bryan up with almost any face in the company at this point.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I know where I'd like to see it go.
What's that?
I'd like to see possibly Shane come back, or Shane and Vince come back or something, and let's turn it into a civil war. Which side are you on? The McMahons or the McMahon Helmsleys?
I could see
I mean,
Shane coming back because Vince has already sided with Triple H and Stephanie. That's already been established.
Yeah, but if Triple H then turns around, but Vince can always fucking go back on it. Vince could come out and say, "You punched a legend in the face. You fired one of our hot up and coming superstars. You're doing what's wrong for business," and then turn face. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter with the logistics of it. I mean, it's wrestling. Vince has turned face and heel multiple times within the instance of a show before now. But it would be cool to see that, and if they do it like a civil war, it'd be cool to see superstars of face and heel go on both sides.
Yeah. Honestly, what I'd like to see is something that you kind of brought up as a joke, Mole. When we were making jokes about, Triple H coming out and saying, "I found a new face of the company. I found a new champion." And the one I'd like to see is he says that, and then John Cena comes out wearing a suit.
Ah, yes, the one I said, Cena in a suit wearing none of his bright colours, none of his wristbands, or nothing that's Cena.
Corporate Cena. I want to see that. Sadly, what's probably going to happen is they're going to hold out until Cena's healthy again, bring him back and make him the face again, and promptly bury Daniel Bryan.
It's possible.
Or they'll use Cena to boost Bryan up even more.
Or
That I see. That I believe.
Yeah, to be fair, apparently WWE has been wanting to build up a new face. I don't think it's going to be Daniel Bryan.
Which is sad considering he's so
Why
over
is
with the
that?
crowd right now.
He's so over, but I don't think he'll be the face because age-wise, he's about the same age as John Cena and Triple H and stuff.
He's about 4 years younger than Cena.
Yeah, he's about 4 years or younger than Cena. But you want the face of your company to be someone you've got longevity with.
Cody Rhodes.
That's what I was thinking. Because look at where this storyline's going. They're literally building up Cody Rhodes to be the savior that comes in riding on his white horse. It could build Cody up to be the biggest face that we've had for a while.
Cody's
which would be
gonna
awesome.
ride-
And teaming with Bryan.
Yeah, Cody's going to ride in on the Intercontinental title.
Yep. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like during the Attitude Era, the next big star that rose up was obviously it was Austin at the time before The Rock. It was Austin. Despite the fact at the time we had guys like Undertaker who could wrestle, were really over with the crowd, but that wasn't what was best for the face of the company. They needed someone who had a certain look to them and someone that could last a while. So they went with Austin. Whereas like Daniel Bryan would be like Undertaker, who Undertaker is my favorite. Whereas he's a great face, the crowd will always be behind him. He's not a great face of the company. He doesn't have the superstar look, if that makes sense. Which I know that's what they've used in the storyline, but it's kind of true. Because like you look at Hulk Hogan and it was, yeah, this guy's gonna rip you apart. You look at Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart, it's like, okay, this guy's got skill, this guy's slimmed down, this guy's awesome. You look at Austin, he can kick your ass. You look at The Rock, it's like he's a movie star. You look at John Cena, he's got like the pretty boy look going for him. You look at Daniel Bryan, and it's a guy with a long beard.
Who could kick
True.
your ass and out-wrestle anyone in the company, but yes.
Respect the beard.
Yes. Whether or not he could outkick the crap out of everyone in the company, I don't know.
It's debatable.
Yeah, I mean, they
he
still
could kick
have.
the crap out of you, but out-wrestle anyone in the company.
I didn't say anything about me. I mean, to be fair, I'm not going to be the face of the company. It's like, to be fair, you couldn't be the face of the company. Cena can be the face of the company over you and beat the shit out of you any day. What's the point? The
Don't
point
know
is
about that, but okay.
Cena could easily kick the crap out of you. You're a fat guy. He's a guy with big fucking muscles.
On steroids.
Yes, which means he's got an aggression behind his muscles too. Good job. He'll Benoit you.
There we go.
Who?
Yeah, but no, I was just pointing out that he doesn't have the look, unfortunately, which like Undertaker and Kane never had the superstar look, but they were still great, and you could still watch him for years, and I still cheer like fuck every time Undertaker comes out. And to be fair, Rowdy Roddy Piper never had that look. That's why I believe Rowdy Roddy Piper's never been world champion.
No, he's not.
But yeah, he's still a fucking legend. I love Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Hmm.
I see Daniel Bryan being like the next Piper or the next Taker in that regard, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
That works.
But what about you guys?
Maybe, I don't know. This with Cody. The problem I see with Cody is he doesn't have the move. Because every face of the company, not only have they had the look, but they've also had the move. And I'm sorry, but the Crossroads, I just don't see being the move.
What
I
about his
see.
kick off the ropes?
No, not really.
That's fucking awesome.
It's a cool move. I don't see it being the move. I see something like the Yes Lock being more the move because that's more along the lines of something like a fucking figure four leg lock or a sharpshooter. It's you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Like I said, I could see it the other way with that. Like for example, that kick, because that's pretty much like sweet to your music or most of the other Impact finishes like knockout punch and stuff. Which means that could be either way.
See, I actually
Yeah.
like the Crossroads more than I like the kick, but I just don't see it becoming the move. Like I don't see it becoming like an RKO or a rock bottom or a Stone Cold Stunner. You know what I mean?
Speaking
Yep.
of kicks, what about that new out of the corner running high kick to the face that Daniel Bryan started using lately?
Yep.
The
That's a
Shining
pretty cool
Wizard thing.
move.
That's awesome. Yeah, I like that move.
Could that be the move?
I will say though
Cool.
that move's cool so far. But that's because like when you did it against the Shield on the Raw today, and he collapses back and he looks like he's dead, it looks impactful. What's going to happen when he uses it against a guy like Cena that gets up smiling?
Hmm.
That's the only problem with that. Which that's not Daniel Bryan's fault. That's whoever sells it. It's like that move looks fucking awesome if it's sold right. If it's not sold right, it's gonna look bad.
But you can say that for almost every move in the business.
Yeah.
You can, but I mean, the reason I say it'll look bad is because when he does like the dramatic slide and the jump through the air and stuff, if he's done that to someone who gets up smiling, he now looks like a joke. Whereas if you just punch someone and they look like and they smiled or something, it's not. I mean, it's not quite the same as okay. He literally just threw everything he fucking had into that move.
And that's why Triple H got pissed off at the Ultimate Warrior.
Yep.
And that's why every superstar ever has gotten pissed off at John fucking Cena.
Yep.
Yep.
Because like the no selling of moves, it works now and again. If it's like their gimmick, like Undertaker or Kane, that works. But even those two sell more than Cena and shit nowadays. And
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, like Taker does it when it's necessary, like when it's going to be dramatic, he'll do the sit up and stuff. He doesn't do it just because he can, whereas John Cena does it just because he can.
Yeah, but because John Cena seems to go by like what Triple H said in an interview with IGN a while back of he he believed I can't remember who it was that said it to him, but whenever you go down, you always need to keep yourself looking strong. That's why whenever Triple H goes down, he always holds his arms up because it's like, look, he clearly has some strength left in him.
Mhm.
He never just goes flat on his back like he's dead. And I'm like, huh, okay. Either way, I can see either way working. It's just the other one's slightly dickish, in my opinion. Of I need to make sure that everyone knows I'm still able to go. No, that's the opposite of selling. Selling's making sure people believe you can't go.
You want to make yourself look strong, make the people believe you can't go, and then show them you can. Don't make them think you can continue on.
Yep.
And that's why Daniel Bryan almost always looks strong, because he'll sell it, he'll look fucking dead, and then he'll get up and kick your ass.
The same way Cena does.
No, Cena never actually looks like he's dead. That's the difference. Bryan will actually sell it.
And to be fair, Cena does do it now and again. Like the one that pisses me off. You know which one?
Yes, Bryan sells better.
8, 9. Cena's up to his feet and runs in the ring. That one just
Yeah.
pisses me off every time.
It's stupid.
It's like we said during the paper. I like Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is awesome, but I will admit his his facial expressions and stuff when he got up on the pay-per-view, I was like, ah, and smiling and shit as he ran and did all this shit. I was like, wait, that's Super Cena mode right there. It's like a comeback.
Well, they got to push the comeback combos for the video game.
Yes, they do. Coming soon.
Oh
Well, how
yeah.
about you? How about you, Jim? You've been awfully quiet with your opinion. Have you managed to look it up yet?
Very funny. Yeah, I can agree. I certainly understand that Cody Rhodes is coming back, and I think Cody Rhodes will certainly be a top face in the company. Whether he will be the face of the company, I don't know. I think the biggest issue, right? I think Cody and Daniel Bryan are the two closest options they have for a quote unquote face of the company. I don't think they have anybody that has that wow factor right now that could be the face of the company. I think that's one of their biggest problems.
Well, they
What about
do. They have Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan has the wow factor. It's just he's kind of old. Cody Rhodes just doesn't have the wow factor nor the sustainability. I think. If as much as I hate to say it, because I like Cody Rhodes, he needs to get better overall. He needs to get better in the ring. He's good in the ring. He needs to get better. He needs that impact move. He needs that move that's going to remain in the minds of the people and make everyone think that when that move comes out, it's over. I mean, he came out against Randy Orton, did the crossroads, and lost when his career was on the line. That to me does not say wow impact move. That to me says, yeah, you fucking suck. You just did your best move, your most powerful move, and Orton fucking just got up and beat you? No, that's bullshit.
So Ric Flair is now shit because he did the figure four lock in his matchup against Shawn Michaels that retired him. Or Shawn Michaels is shit because he Sweet Chin Music The Undertaker and then got tombstoned eventually.
No, it's because it happens to Cody way too much.
It does.
You know, it's gotten to the point now where Triple H is not only burying Cody, he's burying Cody's moves. I mean, that's the other thing. We don't talk about that a lot, but God, really good moves get buried for no reason. Like the Crossroads. The Crossroads is a great move, and if they had, if they had written it properly and sold it properly, that move could have been an awesome move. They could have built Cody up to be the face off of that. But the Crossroads is buried so far now, not even Undertaker could find it.
Yep.
I'm sorry. That's how complete crap Cody is right now. He's got no marketability and no sustainability. He doesn't have. He's not over with the fans. At least Daniel Bryan has the fact that all the fans are behind him. I'm sorry, if they're going to build up the company around someone right now, it has to be Daniel Bryan because he's got it all. The only thing he doesn't have is the age because he is an older superstar. That's the only thing he doesn't have.
He doesn't have the age. He doesn't have the looks, and he's not that good on the microphone. Because let's face it, this yes, no. That's pretty much all he's got going for him right now, and that's a one-line catchphrase. That's the type. Let's face it, the superstars that make it as the face are people like Austin, and I don't like Austin, as you know, who managed to pull out the one-line catchphrase of what that stuck for years out of his fucking ass, but yet he still had like the stunner. He still had that's the bottom line.
True.
Daniel Bryan only has the yes, and I like Daniel Bryan. I think Daniel Bryan has it in him to be, like I said, like the Rowdy Roddy Piper to the next Hulk Hogan, or the Undertaker to the next Austin and stuff, which is a great compliment. It's great being in that position. That's a huge honor. Those people are still remembered. In fact, those people are normally better than the people that take over as the face.
Right.
It's just a case of they need someone who, when you look at him, you know that's a world champion. It's like, I hate to say it, my choice for face of the company for a while, even though he got buried kind of tonight, has been Miz.
Yeah, I could see Miz doing that too. Miz would be an awesome face of the company.
Yeah, Miz has the microphone work, the skull crushing finale for the move. He has the look, and whenever we've seen him on like the talk shows, hyping up the video games, something, he has the it factor where you look at him and you're like, that's a superstar.
Yeah, I agree.
But they're not going to make it Miz, are they?
Probably not.
We clearly saw that from Raw. They're not going to make it Miz. Unless Miz gets his revenge for his hometown beatdown.
That's possible.
That'd be kind of awesome.
Which is extremely unlikely.
Because like Cody's mic skills are probably about on par with Daniel Bryan. To me, he's not really displayed much in the way of mic skills. His mic skills have been kind of lackluster. Cody could be a great superstar. I could see Cody eventually wind up in a position of like a Shawn Michaels. I could see him becoming like the next Shawn Michaels.
Cody's mic work now isn't quite that good. While his face, he's still trying to find his face mark right now. But I'm sorry, when he had the mask on and he did that voice and he was like, "Yes, I am Cody Rhodes" and stuff, where it was sinister. It was cool. It made me want to watch everything he said. I was like, I need to hear what he says. The problem I think with Cody at the moment is he doesn't know how to play a face properly because he's been a heel for how many years?
Yeah, he doesn't have an identity at the moment, a face identity.
Pretty much.
But I think he
No.
has it within him to find that identity and to be that face.
I think this could actually do it though.
Yeah.
Because think about it. Austin went, again, we're using Austin as an example. He's coming up way too much. But Austin went from being the guy that carried the $1 Million Man's belt to being a badass when they found his right thing overnight. Cody Rhodes could be the badass that comes back to try and get revenge for his family. He's the common man like his dad, no singing Jim, and basically come back and be the badass Austin type that just wants to take out all the members to just because he's lost everything. And that would make him just so badass if they pulled it off right. Sadly,
I
I don't
can
think
see
they will.
No.
I can agree with that. But I think that goes back to what Marcus said about in order to do that, he would need to have the move.
Which they could build up if they bring him back as this badass and stuff. They could bring him back with a new move, or they could be like, he could be like, you know what, Andy, you got up from this once, you're not getting up from it again. Boom, crossroads, and Orton just doesn't get up.
Yep.
Mhm.
He could do the crossroads, which, to be fair, the crossroads looks awesome.
It does. I like.
It's
it.
just
I've
a
used
case
the
of-
move in the game.
Yeah, it's a case of, like you said, they haven't sold it properly at this
They
moment.
promptly buried it.
But to be
Yeah.
fair, any move can come back from burying. As James made the joke before, I point you to Ultimate Warrior's pedigree.
True.
And now the pedigree is consistently considered one of the most powerful moves of all time. Admittedly, Vince doesn't have another daughter for Cody to marry and then make his move the most powerful, but still, it could still be done. But no,
Mm.
like I said, I'm for the Miz. How about you? I'm for the Miz. I know Marcus mentioned he's for Daniel Bryan. How about you,
I'm
Jim?
for the Miz. I like the Miz too. I think the Miz out of all of them is the one that probably has the best chance. Even though he's gonna have no chance, I think of all of them, he's got everything at this point in time. If they need a face for the company, the Miz is the person they should go with.
I agree. How about you, James?
I could see that. I could see the Miz certainly being the person that they choose to go with. I do think I said I'm not sure how old Miz is. I think Miz could be the face of the company for a while. What I really like to see is now knowing this, have Miz, Daniel Bryan can help for a few years. Have the two of them and Cody, have the three of them carry the company as the faces for a while. While that's happening, bring a couple of guys up from NXT and have one of them be, say this is going to be the new, and build a bunch of superstars first of
Bo
all.
Dallas.
Yeah, Bo
The
Dallas.
Ascension.
Yeah, bring him. The
I was-
Ascension.
Yeah, the Ascension's awesome. I was taking the piss with Bo Dallas because he's awesome in the ring. I just don't like him on the microphone.
Here's a fun fact: Bo Dallas is actually the real life brother of Bray Wyatt. For those that don't know. But there's a lot of great guys they could bring up to make to build a new face, but not just a face, but to build a new generation of superstars. Because that was always the attitude era, and even the era before that is okay. The era before that, yeah, it depended on Hogan a lot, but there were a lot of other guys that could carry a show if Hogan wasn't around. And same as the attitude era, if Austin wasn't there, The Rock could carry the show, The Undertaker could carry the show, Mick Foley could carry the show. If Hogan wasn't around, you had Piper there, the Iron Sheik, Sergeant Slaughter. These guys could carry the show.
You forgot an era.
I did.
Hulk Hogan's era ended with what was essentially like the new generation era, where we got Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, Tatanka, The Undertaker, Ted DiBiase was there. Lex Luger had the American Lex bus, the Lex Express, going around the country.
That's
Doink
true.
the Clown, Yokozuna. Okay, not Doink the Clown, but still. May he rest in peace.
Coco Beware, the double cooker. Anyway,
Well, I think now that Jim is
And
starting to
everyone
cut
has
out, I think we should end the
a
show.
lot of they used to have a lot of guys.
There goes Jim.
There goes Jim.
Well, that's it from us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night.
So,
I think this is a good opportunity for them to build up a series of dudes. Keep building up Daniel Bryan, have him be a big name. Build up Cody Rhodes, be a big name dude. Build up The Miz, be a big name dude. I do have to disagree with an earlier statement when you talked about Danny Bryan being the Roddy Piper. He's not the Roddy Piper. Damian Sandow is the Roddy Piper of this generation. Mark my words.
He could be. He could be. But
So think about this. Think about it. Okay, you got Damian
Jim.
Sandow. He interrupted me.
No. Well, you were cutting out, dude.
I apologize. Anyway, um,
He's jimming the cutting out. Awesome.
what do you want me to do about it?
Nothing.
All right then. Anyway,
I'll tell you what.
yeah.
I'll tell you what. Due to technical difficulties, as you've all heard here, we'll end it here. Next week we'll discuss the news. We'll discuss the like what's happened that week. But the discussion afterwards, if we want to do like a mini discussion, we'll come back to the face of the company so that James Phoenix can get his say.
I can
Excellent.
approve of that.
I approve.
Okay, so see us next week. I was your host, Chriz, aka the
Fuck
Moy.
you!
See
No,
ya.
no, you're not doing this. No.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Cutting out. See ya.
No. 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 No.